force the delivery, this will actually lock the delivery in place, okay? So wherever I lift up on that brake handle, that's where it's going to lock into place. So there's my delivery adjustment right there.
Okay.
Okay, and that'll lock into place. Now, this here is an extra handpiece position. You can put a low speed or a non-optic high speed, and then where do you think the water adjustment is going to be for that?
The second one.
You got it. Exactly. Does that make sense?
No, why is it the second
It's
one?
this one right
Third
here.
one.
Third
okay.
one. Everything we do goes left to right.
Okay.
So just remember, this is the last one. This is the second to
Okay.
last. Does that make sense?
Yes, okay.
And like I said, and it's kind of funny when we talk about the tubing, the natural reaction for everybody is to kind of want to wipe the tubing down like this. You know what? What ends up happening is you end up pulling the tubing out from here. It's kind of counterintuitive, but I would wipe the tubing in the opposing direction.
Okay.
Okay? You're going to get a lot better wear out of your tubing, and you're not going to pull it out from this little metal. So just wipe the tubing in the opposing direction. Okay? Now, Doc, this is really just for you. You've got your electric motor. It's set at 40,000 RPMs. Do you use high speed and low speed on this, or just high speed?
Usually just high.
Just high. Okay. I was going to say, if you ever did use a low speed on this, you do have memory settings that brings the speed down. Some guys will say to me, well, hey, why didn't I just use my high speed like a low speed? You're going to chew your attachment up. I would never use a high speed lower than 40,000, lower than 20,000 RPMs, but most guys will leave it maxed out at 40,000 anyways. If you ever wanted to put a straight on here, I would bring it down to 20,000, just like a lab handpiece, and you can do the adjustment there.
Okay.
But it's kind of nice. It looks like you're setting things up where you're going to have your electric high speed and all your low speed is going to run right here. So that'll be pretty easy. If you wanted to, we could always close this off completely, because on your low speed, you're not going to have water anyways. So we can shut it off completely
That's
if you wanted
best,
to.
yes.
Yeah, and then you never have to worry about whether the toggle's on or off. You're never going to have water at that
Why don't we
position.
just take the key out too? I'll collect them.
There you go.
Perfect.
So, cool, so I don't have to turn that off if I'm using...
No, I turned it off here, so you're low
Okay.
speed. All he has to do, though, if he wants, obviously the little blue dot is if you want water in the high speed, and you can turn the water off if you wanted to. The reality is, you know, I really don't recommend a high speed not using water. You end up chewing your attachment up, and, you know, the water improves cooling of the tooth, cutting efficiency of the burn, all that kind of stuff. So I just watch that there.
Okay.
Okay?
If you have a hygiene handpiece on though, and that's on the water, then you get water running through your high speed, so you need to be mindful of
Correct.
that.
Well, you just have to make sure it's in the hanger position because there's an air activation. As long as they're not activated when you pull your Profi out, and as long as we've turned the water off, even if it shows water in there, you're never going to get water going through there.
Okay.
Okay? Now, these chairs themselves, have you guys ever positioned on this, or is this all brand new for you?
Brand.
Brand
Act
new?
like it's new. We're taping and everything, so
Okay,
give us
good,
the
good, good,
complete-
good. Well, you know what? You've got on the foot control here, we've actually got, you've got your manual adjustments. So there's your chair up, there's your chair down. This one here is chair back, chair forward. Now the neat part is you've got 0, 1, 2, and 3. That gives you 4 presets. So it gives you a starting point. So if I have an entry exit, let's see, I'll hit that for right now. And I don't like where that is, because if I had the first patient coming in, I'd probably want the chair kind of low like that. To program that, all you do is you hit the program. That's now held in memory. Okay? So real simple. Let's say, you know, I'm working on a patient. I'm done with them. I can hit that 0 position and brings it back to the exit position. Okay? You've got the luxury where you can do the same thing for the lower arch and the upper arch. And then you might want to do an X-ray or rinse position. But you've got a total of 4 positions you can do there. And remember, all it is hit program. And you hit those 2. It's automatically going to bring it down.
Okay.
Okay? I don't know where this is set right now. Let's just see where they've got. This may come. This is really more so for you on your side there. This is kind of a weird position, I think.
It's kind of like a limited exam. You
Yeah,
stand.
exactly. So you can bring this.
Anesthetic.
You can bring that back. And I'm just showing you here just for simplicity. It's kind of hard to do this with the foot initially, but wherever you kind of, I would sit and play in the stool and find the position you like. All you come down, and that's going to be held in there.
Understood.
Okay? Yeah, it's really nice. Really, really nice. Unfortunately, on some of the newer units, the light would actually be activated off the touchpad as well. But, you know, given where you are, it just isn't hooked up to this. So you know how to turn the light on manually. It's right there. And then you've actually got on the back there is an intensity switch.
Okay.
Okay? Most guys will leave it on the high. The only time you may bring it down a little bit lower, you may be doing some sort of shade matching or tissue diagnosis, you can bring it down, but that's normally where it's set.
Okay.
Okay? There's your off button right there. You should have, in the back here, a spare bulb. Okay? It's stored right there, and I think they even have the part number. No, they don't have the part number written in there. But it's stored right in here on this little arm here.
Okay.
Okay? And going backwards here, I'm just going to pop that back on there. As far as care on the light itself, I would never ever use paper on this. Paper's going to scratch at lights.
Okay.
Use a 2x2 gauze.
Okay.
Cotton. Anything that's cotton is going to be the best thing.
Cabin white?
Cabin white. I'm not a huge fan of cabin white because there's alcohol on that. If you do use a cabin white, at the end of the day, I would take mild dish soap and water and just wipe it off. And you know what's funny, because we're going to get into that. Cabin wipe's not bad for this, and the upholstery, I still say mild dish soap and water is the best thing to care for this. If you're putting a barrier over this, that's even better. You're going to protect your upholstery. But what I would do, if you're really big on cabbie wipes and that, at the end of the week, just take a detergent that has antimicrobial in it, dilute it in water, and just wipe it off, because it's just going to get the residue off of everything. Okay? Real simple. If I'm going to have somebody come in for the first time, I can actually bring that armrest out of the way. All I'm doing is pushing this button right here. See that there?
Mm-hmm.
Brings it up,
Okay.
and that lowers that down.
Okay.
Okay? The biggest problem we see in most offices is people don't use the headrest the way they really should. Because the natural reaction is somebody's going to come into the chair, they're going to sit down, and I'm going to try to find this. And you know what that does? It forces me to slouch, and it also forces me, I'm not really comfortable. I tell most people, I'd even bring this a little bit lower for entry or exit. I tell most people, pull it higher than you really need to, and we can get the tension adjusted on this. It's right here. We'll get that adjusted for you.
Okay.
But I would actually pull that higher than you really need to, because if you don't do it, then the patient naturally is going to either reach up and push it down. But this is your best thing so that you can actually work more ergonomically and more sound. You got dry here. You've got a knob on here as well. So what you want to try to do is capture the headrest right in the back of the head here. Okay? So really, for somebody my height, it probably should be up about this high so that I can get in behind there real closely. Now you've also got swivel on this. So I can, sorry, there. I can swivel the chair 30 degrees in either direction.
Okay.
You're saying, well, why would I want to do that? Because you know what? He may be working on a particular quadrant for a long period of time. Yourself as well, sometime in hygiene. It makes it easier for your access. And if you ever ran into a situation where you've actually got a handicapped patient, I can turn the headrest around, and we can actually bring,
The wheelchair.
and have them back right in there and just kind of adjust that.
Oh, that's smart.
It's not something you're going to do on a regular basis, but if you ever do have somebody who's in that kind of situation, it just gives you a real nice opportunity to...
It's easier than transport.
Exactly.
Wheelchair.
Yeah. Oops. But I'll tell you, if you take the time to really learn how to use this headrest, it works for you. And let it work for you, because I always tell everyone, slide your butt as far back to the crack as possible. Have them almost see like they're sitting upright, and then capture this like this, because if you do this, it's going to make the jaw tense. It's going to be tougher for you guys. So really, let this work to your advantage. And the neat part is, even if I had it down like this when they came into the chair, bring it back here again, into the working position here. The nice part is just by supporting this, I can actually lift this, push the bayonet in a little bit further, and open up the jaw a little bit better. Like I said, we'll go through and check the tension on those and adjust those, but the nice part is, same thing, you want to work on the other arch, I can actually bring the chin to the chest and lock it down and bring it in. So much of what we do, we don't position ourselves, because this equipment, it's going to be comfortable for the patient, but you guys are going to be stuck doing all these little tiny movements all day long. And honestly, the reports show that most assistants, hygienists, or doctors, about 80% suffer from neck, back, and shoulder problems. So look after yourself. This doesn't get used the way it should. You've got the opportunity to get a real nice headrest there. Take full advantage of it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good? Alright. Now the water bottle over there on this side, there are little tablets, a little ICX tablet. I put one in here. I like distilled water in a delivery unit. I know we've got good quality water that way. If you're on city water, there's kind of this mystery of how good it is. You've got computers, and not computers, you've got circuitry going through here. I like distilled water here. And what it is, there's little tablets. I think there's a box. Let me grab it so you can see what we've got here.
What am I drinking a Coke with? My buddy.
What are you drinking that Coke for?
I was thirsty. My buddy told me to do it.
Oh, you what?
My buddy told me to do it.
Ah, I like that. These little tablets are kind of cool. They're actually, there's a two liters of bottled water there.
Could you name that tablet, please, for the record?
ICX.
Okay.
ICX. There should have been a box of these that came with each one of the deliveries.
I
Okay?
got that.
We'll have to hunt around. Somebody may have put them in a bulk box someplace. But the nice part is, anytime I change the water bottle, I'm going to put an ICX tablet in there. What it is a water maintenance system. So if we're using distilled water, we've got good water already. This just prevents any microbials or anything from building up in your water lines. It's awesome. It's just a tablet. You just pop it open. Anytime you fill the water bottle up, put it in a tablet. Now, do you want to try taking that off? This is neat because actually this is a huge advantage. It's a larger water bottle. So
I
what
haven't
you can,
tried yet.
Okay, well here, let me show you the first time. All you're going to do is you're going to push up here a little bit. Now, have I got did I turn the unit off?
No.
Okay, you should have the unit off just so there's not air pressure on there.
It's off.
Okay, it comes off. Now see how I don't have, it's not threaded. It pushes up and locks into place.
Yeah.
So the pickup tubing for hygiene reasons is actually built into the water bottle as well, so I've got no cross-contamination here.
Okay.
And the nice part is when you put this in, just push, and it just kind of goes up and locks into place. So I'm just pushing up a little bit. Go ahead and give it a shot. And turn down. Yep, just push up a little bit. Don't force. There you go. You got it. Keep going. See what thread's on there?
Okay, yeah, I see that.
That's it.
Okay.
Why don't we let everybody do that once?
You should, because
that way
it's
everybody-
super simple. You're never going to strip the water bottle and then just turn it till it locks in there. There you go. That's it.
Okay.
Perfect.
It's easier if you look at where the track is. I'll show you. So you can see
We'll
it
do a
goes
quiz
down
later.
here.
We'll do a
And then,
quiz
like,
later.
push it up.
Well, you know the biggest problem is with those other water bottles on the market, people strip them, and over time you're constantly having to replace them. It's nice because it's got a nice flat surface, so if you need to
Oh,
fill
yeah, I
them
like
up,
that. Yeah. It's easy. Yep, that's good.
want to give it a shot there too? That's it. You got just push up a little bit on the base there,
They're here.
on the bottom.
Yeah, like push up and you can see the track there.
So keep,
Oh, okay, yeah.
see, you got it there? Yep. Take it off once you can get it off.
You'll have to.
Just hold on the bottom there so it doesn't fall.
Yeah, there you go. Keep going. Yeah,
There you go.
okay, yeah.
And see, you got those little grooves, and then you
Yeah.
just turn and locks it back into place. Believe it or not, this is like an engineering wonder. You know, it's so much better because you're not overstripping things. Yeah, just go to the right, and that just holds it into place.
Okay.
Okay.
It's really easy once you do it. It's a lot better than
It is, and you strip it down.
yeah. I like it too because there's another kind of unit where it's the same idea, but it's harder to do, and I have to like
You got it.
wrap it a little bit. It's
Yep.
hard. But
I want
that's
to give it a shot
easy.
too.
Go for it. Get in there. There you go. Perfect. In the
I
little
like
bags
that.
as well, if you ever find that, you know, it's not going on real easily, there should be a spare O-ring
That's nice.
and a set of some silicone. Just put a little silicone on that O-ring and replace it. Every room should have that as well.
How long do those O-rings usually last?
You know what? I've had some offices that never touched them. I've had other offices, you know, they're replacing them every 6 months to a year. But there should be a spare one. The only reason you'll ever change it is if you have a tough time pushing it on and off or you're hearing leaking. Otherwise, you know, it could last you years. Okay, and there should be, let's see, there should be in the bag there, back with this other stuff, some silicone and an O-ring.
So I'm wondering if silicone is like a preventative maintenance piece.
There it is. There's a spare O-ring. There should be one for each one of the units, and that's just a little pack of silicone. So all you're going to do is literally just take some of that O-ring, take an Explorer, pull the old one off. All it is, it's just a gooey lubricant. Just rub it on there and replace the O-ring. Okay? This is also really good for your high volume and your saliva ejector. See how you've got an O-ring on here?
Mm-hmm.
If you ever have to replace the O-rings there or on here, that's what that silicone is for. Okay? I'm going to grab you. There should be a couple of little brushes.
Oh, the little packet. Okay.
Yeah. Sean, you get the brushes there? Here we go. See how nice that is? It's super nice, and then what you've got here, you've actually got, if you ever accidentally suck up a crown, there is a catch there. So it won't go down the tubing.
Did you see it?
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Yep.
That never happens, right?
Yeah.
Or a huge chunk of amalgam.
Exactly.
Never.
Exactly. You catch it. But the nice part is what these brushes actually do. This one is designed for your high volume. Okay. I can take this out, and I can clean it this way,
Okay.
and I can clean it down this way.
Okay.
Okay? And if you do that and just put a little silicone in there, once a month, it'll keep these working really, really nice. Keep them real simple so you're not having to fight. Because a lot of us, you go in there, you're just like...
Yeah, I'm going to get really stuck.
It is. And you know what it is? A lot of offices have never, ever taken these apart to clean them.
If you have a really bloody procedure, you should just take them apart.
Well,
Do you recommend ultrasonicing those?
no.
Don't
No,
do
no, no.
that.
No, I
Okay.
wouldn't ultrasonic those.
Okay.
The
This?
rubber and stuff.
No, it's gonna work. You know what? If you had a really bloody procedure, this is on a quick disconnect. I can pull that off.
Oh, show that again. But go down and show them that.
See this here? It's on a quick disconnect.
cool.
It just pulls right off. So if you ever had a really bloody procedure and you want to rinse the tubing off, that just pulls off.
Now, normally when we have a surgical procedure that's fairly bloody, we have a bowl that we fill with a disinfectant and enzyme cleaner. We
Yep.
suck that all the way out
Yep.
through the entire system.
That's your vacuum lines.
Okay,
Yep.
and you would want us to do for a bloody procedure standpoint. Okay,
I'm just giving you
using that system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you go through step by step how we would go about doing that if you're talking about doing something different?
If you had a bucket and you're going to clean your vacuum lines, how often do you guys clean your vacuum lines right now?
After every bloody procedure.
And we're
But what
going
about on
to
a
do it.
regular? Do you have regular maintenance where you're cleaning
We're
the
going to
vacuum
do it
lines?
once a week now.
Perfect. All you're going to do is put that in a bucket.
Okay.
You're going to take this, you're going to open this up, and you're going to suck it through the lines. That's
Okay.
all it is. I'm just saying, if you come out and then all of a sudden you've got a really bloody procedure here, and hey, I've got another patient. It's kind of nice to take the tubing into the back there if you can, rinse it off a little bit, and wipe it down with some warm water, just so it doesn't look so nasty.
Well, sometimes too, the blood will get like, you can take that out.
Yep.
Blood will get in between here, and then,
Yeah.
unless you take it apart,
Yep.
it stays there, especially if it's had the opportunity to
But I'll tell you,
dry.
if you look after these, you go into so many offices and everybody is fighting these, it's because
Yeah.
they never take them apart and clean them.
And I know you said the silicone, but just water, soap, dish soap and water?
Yeah,
or-
mild soap and water. I just kind of rinse them through there. And then, like I said, I would always, though, anytime I'm starting to work with O-rings, silicone just resets it. Okay? You're not going to have to do it immediately because you're a brand new office, but I'm just saying over time, I'd probably just go
Yeah.
out. I don't know. I've even said to some offices what I would do once a year, just replace the O-rings and take silicone, and you're never going to have to worry about, oh my God, it's not working. Just make it part of your regular maintenance.
So it's a yearly part of our maintenance.
I would, and that's what this is kind of nice. I actually got this sheet that kind of tells you what you should be doing after
Yeah,
every patient,
awesome.
weekly, monthly, and yearly.
This is terrific.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you just post it, and then everyone's doing the exact same thing, and there's no mystery.
This is really helpful.
Yeah, we'll post that up.
There is the same thing for the small one as well. Okay, so you've
Okay.
got one for the large one and one for the small one. And like I said, there should be a set that came with every single delivery. So would you get 4 deliveries or 3 deliveries?
I think 3.
3. So you should have 3 sets of these, 3 sets of O-rings, and then you've also got, there's actually a surgical, if you want to use that as well. And these are just disposable ones.
Okay.
I don't know what that's for, unfortunately. That little stopper. Sean, Do you know what this little stopper's for? I've seen it for years and I haven't got a clue.
Looks like the same thing from the track lights.
Is it just a stopper? I don't know. I've seen it in there for years and I thought...
There's a stopper down there that looks somewhat similar to that, but
No, it's bigger than that though. I don't know. There's one
Is this
there.
missing something?
Let's see.
Does that?
No, that's the way that should be.
It's the exact same one they
That's-
use for those.
that-
I don't know what the dual.
I don't know.
purpose is.
I gotta call up our
what if
little...
it goes in here or something to seal that off for some reason?
Well, there really isn't. In this here, all we've got that little... I haven't got anything
I'll
else.
call and ask real quick.
I don't know, I've seen it there and I've always said next time I talk to one of the engineers I want to find out what that's for. Are you using disposable syringe tips or do you use metal ones?
Disposable.
Okay. Every unit as well, we've got a little packet. There should be 4 metal tips here for each one of the units.
2 come in each bag.
2 come each bag?
There's a bag right there.
Oh, okay, cool. These are autoclavable, and what you're going to notice, this is what kind of makes Adec different from everybody else. The bevel on these is actually nice and smooth. The biggest problem you have with most O-rings and the disposable ones is when you place them in there, people kind of force them in there, you cut your O-rings in there, and you start getting leakage. I'm a big fan of these. If you want disposable ones, all I ask you is that when you place it in, just be careful pushing it in, because if you force it in at an angle, there's an O-ring here and here, and you're going to start getting leakage there. When you use these metal ones, they're nice.
Did you say each unit comes with 4?
Two. Yeah. There should be 2 for there and 2 for back here.
I mean, honestly, that's enough that we could use them, so let me know if you want to.
I just want to see what the bend is on them because
Okay.
a lot of times that bend is what allows us to.
Yeah.
We need one for assisted side and doctor's side.
You've got one there and you've got one here. There should be 2
Right.
for each one of those.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
that's true.
Plus, we could buy extra.
Yep. You did get a bag of, there's vacuum traps. So your vacuum trap is right here.
And the bag of vacuum traps
Okay.
is...
I'm going to take that off. Okay.
Okay.
All it is, there's a disposable trap there. Okay. There should be a bag. Sean's kind of organizing all those for you. I think
Oh,
it came with
awesome.
5 or 10 of them. You know what I would do? This here depends upon usage and how dirty the office is. You can kind of determine how often you're changing those. Sorry about that. When you go through all of those, Pinnacle actually makes a disposable paper one that's actually less money. I'd go to that. You just throw it away. I've had offices that'll take this and they'll rinse it off and they'll rinse it off and eventually it gets super nasty. If you just want to get the paper ones after you go through mine, it'll save you money. Now, make sure when you put this in here though, see how there's like a little half moon here? Make sure that goes down towards this way, because it'll fit in either way. What's going to end up happening if I put it in this way, we're going to block off all the suction. So just make sure this little half moon is down. Okay? I guess Sean adjusted this as high as we could, correct?
Yeah. Well, we've augmented it. Let's say.
Okay. I'm not even going to show you how to adjust that thing, because given the fact we were tops off here, we'll just leave that where it's at.
Okay.
Okay? And the nice part about this, like I said, this is removes around here, so it's on your side. Each one of these is adjustable as well. So if you
Awesome.
if you like to have your high volume in this direction, they all operate individually. So you can kind of figure out how you like to use it. But the best part is if you ever leave Doc, you can bring it over to your side and you've got suction available to you. Yep, just pull it out individually. So just pull that one out. Whoops. And it just individually adjusts.
Okay.
Okay? And then same thing in the middle one. If you wanted to adjust the middle one, just pull it. Okay?
Okay, cool.
All right, so we got that.
But there's a switch under there. What is that?
Oh,
switch
that
for?
turns on the suction. You got a switch here, a manual switch.
Is there
Okay.
any reason
It is not
why
turned
we
on
need-
right now, I don't think. Is your compressor
No.
on, Sean?
It's not on. Nothing's
Okay.
on because the water was.
All right, well, I'm not going to... Do you want to turn it on, Sean, and see if it... Perfect.
Is the leak fixed?
Yeah, you fixed it.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't, it was where they
Well,
took it.
just okay.
Yeah.
Are we turning our compressor off each night?
Yes.
still? Okay. So does this need to be turned off nightly then?
I would still do it, and the reason I would, if you had a leak, that air is going to be running all night. It's going to be running your compressor. I'm just a big fan of shutting things off.
I agree with that.
Do you? Yeah, I do, because in case something does happen to the compression, you got air running all the time. You got it's just a switch. Can you see it down there? It's just right here. That turns it
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Okay.
Backup safety, always
Yep.
a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
I only turned one of the vacuum motors on.
Okay. Now, questions for me, guys. Sean, we did notice on all the units themselves, we'll go through and adjust these. These are
Okay, those need tightened up.
just a little Allen in each one of those will tighten that. And all it is, he's got an Allen key, which is just going to tighten the friction on this. So this doesn't slide down. It's got a little bit of play with it.
Okay.
Okay.
Not for, but the chair in the other room,
Mhm.
even when the brake is on the chair,
Yeah.
it'll still turn.
Yes.
If we can get that tightened up also.
Okay, so the brake handle in that room's not working on the Cascade, Sean. We'll tighten that up. Okay.
So let me ask you: is there ever a time, even if we're using, distilled water with the little enzyme tablets, do we ever take that bottle, rinse it with soapy water, do anything? Is there any other maintenance to it other than that?
Honestly, there's nothing with this. If you're using the distilled water, it's the best thing possible. And that's why I'm a huge fan of this. Because honestly, if you're getting really good water, honestly, the vacuum solution is really designed for that. This is all clean water. What's going through the unit is clean water. That's why I'm saying that purge button on the back almost becomes obsolete. I very rarely use it if I'm using distilled water with those tablets.
Okay.
The upholstery itself, if you're going to put a cover over the back of that, great. I'm just not a big fan of spraying anything directly on the upholstery. Alcohol or bleach is just going to dry stuff out. If you are a big fan of these cabbie wipes, wipe it down, but go behind it at the end of the week with mild dish soap and water and just get all the residue off. It really is. Anything that's like, it's got that 99.9% antimicrobial soap, that's the best thing. We've always recommended that. And we don't, with the upholstery is supplied to us, that's coming as a recommendation from the upholstery supplier.
Okay.
This stuff here, there's no problem. Cabbie wipes, whatever. The other thing I would probably keep in the office, those magic erasers? Mm-hmm. Keep one of those hanging around, because if you ever get any kind of foot marks or anything on your chair bases, that'll take anything off.
Okay.
And even on the hangers here, over time, you'll get little markings inside here.
Mm-hmm.
That if you take that magic eraser, it'll eliminate all that stuff.
Terrific.
Yeah, it's a real simple, easy
I was just
thing.
at Home Depot. I should
Were
have
you?
talked to you
I'm
before.
gonna
huh?
put that on the list.
Okay.
And you know
Sorry,
what?
Lewis.
One of the other senior guys told me, he says, with these here, a lot of times they will attract dust. He says take a used bounce sheet,
Yes.
and he says that'll take all the static off there and anything off your monitors.
Okay.
That email's been going around for 5
Has
years.
it?
It's a good
Well,
email.
trust me, he's an old school guy, and I like all that old stuff because you don't miss a trick that way.
Let me ask you,
Yep.
when we're putting on high-speed hand
Yep.
pieces, normally what I like the assistants to do and the people that are setting up the rooms is to take the electric hand piece, put it on properly seated, right?
Yep.
So what that means is that as you go to put this on, there's a little detent right here, basically, okay?
Yep.
And that detent fits into this slot, okay? So there's
It's
the
almost like Lego,
detent
it
and
kind
there's
of
the
fits into
slot.
place there.
If it's put in incorrectly, it won't seat all the way. Okay? Now, this handpiece will still run, which is the problem. Okay? But it'll destroy it
Yeah.
over time. So what I like to do is make sure that's always click. You hear that click, it pops into place. Have a burr in it, place a burr in it, turn the water on, okay, and press the pedal because the Quattro Care is going to leave extra lubricant in this handpiece, in this attachment. And by doing that, you're going to get rid of that extra lubricant. So that when I start it up in a patient's mouth, right, I don't spray lubricant into their mouth initially. We don't want to do that. So I usually get a 2x2, hold a 2x2 in front of it, hold the foot pedal down with the water on for probably about 5 seconds, okay? And then you can go ahead and reholster it or whatever you would call,
Put it back in the hand.
put it back in the hanger there, okay? But if you don't have that in there right and you run it, the water won't come out. Okay, that's key. That lets you know something's wrong real quick. But it needs to make that clicking noise. It's got to pop into place. Okay.
I did adjust the water on this unit with that electric attachment, and I don't know. Oh, is she on?
We turned it off.
Okay. So if you want to turn that down,
Yeah,
remember
that's
it's your
pretty intense.
second to last one. Yep.
Down is to the left.
Down is to the clockwise, just down.
Okay.
Keep turning it. There you go.
I've got it off.
You got it off completely?
Yeah. All the way to the right anyway. I'm going all the way to the left now.
Oh, it's this one here.
It's the first one now.
Yeah,
Okay, I got
that's
you.
that one there.
Okay, let's try that again.
Now what happens if you go too low, you'll end up getting some sputtering with your water. It's designed to have quite a bit of water in the electric. That's not bad.
That's a lot.
Is that a lot for you?
Yeah, because it'll keeping my mirror clean with that is rough, but that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Now the only water bottle I've actually filled up so far, I filled that one up with distilled water and the tablet. You can do the same thing in the other rooms.
Okay.
I just don't want to dirty up all your attachments and everything,
Yep.
so that's the only one I've really cross-contaminated with.
Okay. I do have a question.
Sure.
I don't know if this tray came with.
No, that came from the other office.
Okay, so I need
But we'd
trays
like to get
for
some more.
each.
Yeah,
Okay.
the stainless steel doctor trays.
Stainless steel. Cool, you got it?
I'm right here. I'm
So
lurking
I don't
over
need
here.
to worry
He's
about
on.
it, right? Okay. Okay.
Hey, the other thing I didn't show you here, I'm just going to raise the chair up. If for some reason the chair,
Go back here.
there is a safety plate on the bottom of this. Hear that noise I'm hitting there?
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for me to do this both at the same time. Try to bring that down. See how it stops?
Yeah.
That's because if something's stuck underneath there, it stops the chair. The only thing, whenever you have anything happen, raise it up, because 9 times out of 10, it's either the foot control or something jimmied under the bottom of that.
Yeah.
It's a safety mechanism. It's nice. You're not going to damage anything. So if it stops for some reason, just make sure this isn't engaged and just raise the chair up a little bit.
And that there's a light also there. And just there in the
Oh, was it
green.
flashing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. There it is. You see it
Yeah.
on the bottom there, guys? The green light? You can see it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay.
You see it?
Because normally if we, had
Okay.
a touchpad on here, the touchpad would flash. Good.
Yep.
All right. Questions? We all know where the spare bulb is. You know where the intensity
Do you
is.
want to show the quick installation of that bulb?
I can because it's cold right
Can you
now.
show that real quick?
Yeah. Hey, if you
Can
do
you record
change,
this?
if you do change this, make sure the light cools off because I've learned the hard way. Okay, you're all saying yes. This collects the majority of the heat, and I've been out there, and it's kind of like I go like this, and I've lost my fingerprints on this. This absorbs all the heat. We've all been there at one time or
I was
another.
practicing and someone decided to change it while I had a patient, or in between, and I didn't realize it wasn't.
Now,
And I reached up and grabbed it hot.
Recording, so.
yeah. Now, if
Very
you're
dangerous.
gonna change the bulbs, put gloves on. Okay, because any kind of oil on your hand is going to shorten the lifespan of that
Get your
bulb.
glove. Here's one.
It's going to grab me a set of gloves, and all you're going to do is you're going to pull that straight off.
Are there certain specifications for wiping the glass, the
This here,
plastic?
I said mouth soap and water. Never spray anything on it, especially when it's hot.
Medium's all I have right now.
No, that's okay. Never spray anything on while it's hot. But mild soap and water. I'm not a big fan of anything that has alcohol or bleach, and always going to use cotton. Never use anything that's paper. So I'm going to take this and just pull it out. And see, you got those two little prongs there. You got your new bulb. You're going to put it in, replace it, and that's basically it.
Does it have a top or bottom or?
No, you can go in either direction. It's universal either way.
If you use like alcohol or bleach or anything like that on the shield, you know, the clear part, it'll
Yeah.
kind of break down over time, so you'll see it cracking and stuff. It just dries out
Yep.
the plastic.
And this is almost kind of, when you change this now, you would think it would lock going the opposing direction. It actually locks